Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars Dad, Nooch Too Good. And man, it's been a few weeks since we stopped and looked at your comments. We haven't had anything dramatic, like nothing. I mean, there's been a lot going on in the game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it feels like it's just bombarding us with stuff here at the end of the year, with all of our fleets competing and Relic Delta on the way. Constant discussions about that, community getting used to, etc. It's a lot going on in the game. Yeah, a lot going on in the game, but not a lot of drama that I've seen, and I haven't had a lot of chance to reply to comments lately, so I thought we'd take some time and really read through some of these comments and just see what's going on. And this is kind of the comment here that really kind of pushed it forward for me, from Houston Harris. In my video where I said, hey, we got these new Lightspeed bundles out that are expensive. Are they better than the cheap ones, etc.? We got the permanent Lightspeed bundles out right now. Are there more Lightspeed bundles coming? My account is at 3.14 million galactic power. Should I be trying to keep it below 4 million for a little while? I bought all 4 bundles for SLKR and Ray, the $20 and $10 for each, but I didn't even think about dropping more for another GL. Should I be conservative or not worry about it? Well, I mean, yes, there are more Lightspeed bundles coming. There are always more Lightspeed bundles coming, and I believe here through the last 2.5 months of the year, there's going to be a lot of Lightspeed bundles dropping in the game for purchase. And then I think when we get around to 2026, you'll start to see more and more of the old Lightspeed bundles layered in as permanent Lightspeed bundles. We'll start to see a lot more of those old, cheaper, permanent Lightspeed bundles in the game as we go forward. So, does that mean you should just keep your roster down? You know, we talk about, for a while, the game was all about depressing your roster and keeping the galactic power low so you could place high in Grand Arena, and we missed that old version of Grand Arena, and while realizing that you can't really structure Grand Arena that way and have a growing game. So we get all that. But the answer to this is, should you keep your account low so you could buy more of the permanent bundles later? I just can't see I can't see doing that. There's a lot of diminishing returns involved with that. Specifically, I think of 2 things. One is fun. I mean, don't you want to play with your new toys? If you unwrap a toy for Christmas, or you go out and you buy something new for yourself that you want to spend time and enjoy with. I think back to like my comic book collection. When I was in junior high school, even in elementary school, I collected a lot of comic books, and I used to tell my dad, I'd be like, these are worth this, these are worth this, that's worth this, and my dad would say, well, who's gonna buy it? And I didn't think about it at the time until I tried to sell some of those comic books, and I couldn't find anybody to buy them. So, you know, it's like, you got your toys now, you've paid for your toys, you've earned your toys, go play with your toys. You know, this is a game. I get it, you want to be as efficient as possible. We do want to keep our rosters efficient and looking for the best way possible, but you know, you're going to keep your galactic power low so you can keep buying more stuff, and every time you buy stuff, it gives you more stuff to do in the game to get that stuff completed. I'm just saying no. I'm just playing it flat no. The other thing is, by the way, 4 million galactic power is kind of a big deal in the game. It opens up proving grounds for you. It opens up hard conquest and gives you access generally to more stuff in the game by proving grounds and conquest. So I'm just going to say, if you already bought the Ray and Kylo bundles, be happy with that. Upgrade your roster. If you get more opportunities down the road to buy more Lightspeed bundles, because they will continue to release Lightspeed bundles into the game that are not permanent and don't require you to be under 4 million galactic power. Those will continue to come to the game, and the rules will change over time. We have no idea what the rules are going to be next year. They might release stuff in January, February, make it permanent and say now it's 5 million. We don't know these things. So take the ones you bought, have fun, play with your toys, get SLKR, get Ray, go get the Executor because you got the Finalizer bundle. Make your roster work for you. Enjoy the grind of the game. I know Lightspeed bundles are great, but the grind is a big, important part of the game for almost all of us. Go have fun. Play with your toys, man. Bat Dad says, Nooch, why do you have plumber's tape? LOL. So this, I had this, I was watching this short back, and I didn't realize it halfway through. I tend to fiddle with stuff on my desk. Like, I've got stuff sitting here on my desk. I might pick up a bottle of Tylenol and shake, whatever. I've just got stuff sitting around on my desk, and I was working through, what were we doing? Oh, I was totally confused here. So this is when I thought I had the wrong Mando, but I had the right Mando. It's when I forgot the Rolo crown, but so I'm like, I'm stressing out, and I just picked up something and grabbed it. This isn't plumber's tape. What this is this is tape that, when I got this mic a couple of years ago, my wife also got me a stand that I could connect to my desk. And so I tried to connect it to my desk, but it wasn't working because my desk has beveled edges. It's a really nice desk, but it's not like it's not a really nice streaming desk per se because of the beveled edges, I guess. And also, if you guys have never noticed, it's kind of like it's a it's a squared off. There's two sides to it at a square. And so if you guys notice, if I ever move my camera, there might be something down here in this little corner. Well, that's my desk. So I have to block it out here, which it kind of limits me for motion. Anyway, this is tape that you get that you wrap around the threads of a screw. And what I was trying to do with that mic stand so I could have it here where I could move it around and stuff, I was trying to use this into the threads of the bolts and stuff that were holding it on, and I tried in a bunch of different places to see if that would hold the bolts tighter to make it, and it's never worked. So I don't know, I probably spent $3 on that at Walmart, but yeah, that's what that is. That's not plumber's tape. Nick Lasser, ich liebe es, alle lustigen Gag-Momente am nächsten Tag aus kurzer Shorts zu sehen. Nick it loves that all the funny Grand Arena moments are in shorts the next day. I'll keep going with that. It's kind of the deal. Like, I've never been real successful publishing like full rounds of Grand Arena edited down to like, 15-20 minutes for everybody's pleasure. I get some views out of it, not a lot, but I do get a lot of, you guys really enjoy watching the shorts, so I'll just keep publishing these shorts. I think it's more fun that way, and we're all about the fun and the grind here, so yes, enjoy the funny moments. Remy Dimitrison, while it's not really the direction you're going at the moment, I think it's a good call for most accounts in your position to also farm the Raven's Claw if you're already farming Outrider. Other than being Rebel ships, Kyle Katarn and Dash Rendar are both part of Starkiller's farms. Going Starkiller somewhere along the way makes a nice addition to a roster. There's always a place for Mara Jade and Darktown. I tend to agree with this. I think that with now Home 1 being elevated and Profundity being elevated, we should start to see Starkillers drop onto rosters a little bit earlier. And if they make relic materials more available, I could see earlier Starkillers on rosters. It's kind of tough to take it really depends on where your rosters is. Like, most accounts in my position, my position is I don't even have the bounty hunter ships finished yet, and spending extra energy on the Raven's Claw right now just doesn't make a lot of sense for my roster. So while I understand the sentiment and I get, the idea of Outrider, Dash Runner, and I am farming Outrider, but Outrider and Raven's Claw just generally don't go together. If you look at like the B-Wing now for Home 1, there's a lot of call-outs to non-smuggler rebels, which means that non-cargo rebels or whatever it is, but that means that Outrider's out, that means that Han's Millennium Falcon is out, and while it might work with it, I'm already in the process of finishing my bounty hunter fleet. I need to work on a separatist fleet because I got the Geo ships done and I'm on my way to Malevolence and Grievous. I'm rounding out my Galactic Republic fleet, and I'm deep enough into all of those fleets that I'm pretty much committed to them at this point. I'm still in the process of working through if the 2027 farming guide is going to call for Home 1 or what we're going to look at on that. I don't believe it's a bad idea. I'm not sure about farming Outrider and Raven's Claw, although Outrider you need for Java. So I understand the point here. I don't think I would say most accounts in my position should do that because it would cost me a lot more energy every day. And while in 6 months it might look really nice, I'd be farming Galactic Republic, the Malevolence, the Endurance, the Home 1, and the Executor all on my roster at the same time, and I just don't have room to farm 5 fleets at once on a free-to-play account. So I get the idea. It's just not going to happen right now. Pevinator, I really don't understand the logic behind not progressing the main focus on Executor. I think I said I am progressing. You mean the characters, like relicking? I'm not relicking the characters right now? Okay, I'll talk about that. So yeah, I'm not relicking any characters right now on my roster. I'm holding off until we get all the, Relic Delta's coming out, then they're changing the relic economy in the game. So I can understand holding off on side projects as those might change after the update, or just not getting gear in the supply store since the rates could be changed in the supplies. Okay, so I get it. Here's the deal is that if the relic economy changes in the game, it could impact a lot. Sorry, I'm playing around with my phone here on the side while we're doing this. I've got things going. Anyway, if the relic economy changes in the game, which they told us it's going to, it's pretty clear the relic economy and the availability of relic materials is going to change in the game. Well, I don't know this, and we'll see. But I mean, that could impact all of the gear farming down to the bottom level. And it never, I'll say it again, it never hurt nobody to hoard for a month or two. I mean, Relic Delta is probably going to be here, I don't know, I want to think by end of November, but end of November is always Thanksgiving in the US, so they don't really want to launch things at Thanksgiving. I don't know, mid-November to early December, I think Relic Delta will be here. And when that happens, we anticipate that shortly thereafter, or at the same time, they're going to release a bunch of updates to the gear economy / relic level economies in the game, especially for new characters they've mentioned. I don't know how that's going to impact my roster, and I don't have like truckloads, and I don't have endless amounts of gear on my roster right now. I just don't. I don't have endless amounts of gear for all the characters on my roster. So why not? It's not going to impact my performance in Grand Arena. It's not going to impact my performance in Territory Battles or Territory Wars to take a few other characters to Gear 12. Like I could Gear 12 Boba Fett right now. I think I could Gear 12 like Vader right now. I mean, doing that is not going to have a positive impact on my roster in any way, shape, or form. So why not just sit on that stuff for a couple of months until we see what the gear impact changes are when they come out, and then once that is known, and I'm operating in a system that is known, and I've hoarded up some gear for a couple of months, I can do whatever I want. So that's the logic. I mean, you don't understand the logic? That's the logic right there. So I'm holding off on gearing up characters because the game's about to change, and since the game's about to change and hoarding never hurt nobody for a month or two, I'm gonna be nobody and not get hurt. I'm hormonal right now is a sentence that only a married man will ever say, says Red Vein Born. Maybe, Red Vein Borneo, sorry. I mean, maybe. Honestly, I've had a little struggle over the last couple of months. There are some things going on that are separate from the game. The game is fine, and everything's good with the channel and everything. But you guys have just kind of witnessed me having some moments where it's like just getting set off by small stuff, or getting a little bit, you know, like just feeling overwhelmed by things. And I think I finally got through some light on that here in the last week or so, in the last couple of days especially. I feel pretty good right now. But, you know, women go through menopause. I think the chat had labeled mine menopause. All of us have hormonal cycles, man. You know, I've got less testosterone than you young guys out there. Congratulations. You know, but it makes makes me probably a little more bearable on the home front, possibly. My mind's not always on one thing. It's always on this channel, actually. It's when I'm just, Nooch too good, Nooch too good. I gotta go make content, Nooch too good. Don't you wanna hang out with me? I gotta go make content. I gotta go stream. I'm going to stream. Okay, make the money. Okay. I know, I've been saying that a lot lately. I've kind of been going through, something's been a little off in my, I don't feel like my life is off. I don't feel like the channel is off. I feel like just something's off inside me, and not in a bad way. And I do think it's good to kind of talk it out, although I've said before, I think it's probably better to keep moving forward and keep doing things. The more you talk about it, the more you make something become real. So, yeah, I'm pretty secure in my masculinity at this point. I've produced 4 children, and I've been married for almost 30 years. So I feel like I can say just about anything I want to at this point. So I've been a little hormonal lately. Evan DeAngelis, I've tried watching this video like 5 times. Can you literally remake it because you're fumbling over your words like the whole time? No. I'm not going to remake it. Now, what I did say is that every time we get new permanent lightspeed bundles in the game, I'm going to re-rank them. So I do feel like about once a quarter or a few times a year, we're going to get a new set of permanent lightspeed bundles out once they're 2 years old in the game. I think that's about to start happening. It seems logical with what just happened. So every time they release those permanent ones, we'll re-rank it. It's become really difficult to do. You know, we were doing lightspeed bundle rankings for the first year or so that they were out, and it got more difficult because now they're releasing, like, you know, Supreme Leader 2 and Ray 2 and stuff, and it's like, well, now I gotta rank 2 in with 1, and it just got really messy. And there's like, I don't know, like probably 60 lightspeed bundles now. It got really difficult to rank them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of stack them up over time and build it up. I'm not always perfect. Not every video is a work of art. I'm making daily content here. So yeah, some of one of my best friends would say they can't all be gems. So yeah, sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's not quite a hit. Sorry to disappoint you, Evan, but yeah, I'm doing my best here. Sometimes I fumble through my words, and sometimes I stumble. Sometimes I ramble around a little bit. Sometimes I'm hormonal. Sometimes I'm going through menopause. Sometimes I'm crying. Sometimes I'm yelling at somebody in chat for no good reason. Then I apologize like 2 minutes later. Stuff happens. This is life. Here we are. Every video's not perfect, man. I'm not remaking that, but look for the next one, probably January, February, and I'll be a little more on top of it. This was like a week after those permanent bundles came out. Next time it comes out, I'm gonna re-rank them properly at the very beginning. Get a little more farming out of that, baby. Chattiest Baddiest. You were talking about how content creators get a boost in views, boost in views. Oh my God, I gotta re-record this whole video. You were talking about how content creators get a boost in views recovering relic data, but what does that matter if a lot of people quit subsequently causing a drop in views over the long term? Man, that was a joke, man. I mean, come on. Everybody's way too serious about this stuff. Like, what happened was, this is me talking to everybody, and I said something to Vexatron about, he was concerned about, we were all concerned about Relic Delta, right? And I don't remember there was concerns in the video about what it's going to do for especially early game Grand Arena players. Very real concerns, like very real concerns. And you just like farm like if you've got 3 teams on the board for Grand Arena and Carbonite, you just farm 3 Relic 9 characters and use that as, you know, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. So offhand, I just said, Wayne, you got to learn how to farm. I'm going to teach you how to farm content. DM me or something. This is a joke. I mean, come on. But at the same time, I mean, this is my job, so I'm making videos about the current stuff that's going on in the game. What do you want from me, man? I mean, I guess thanks for looking out. Thanks for looking out. Relic Delta massively hurts new to mid game players. Well, that's an assumption. Again, we do not have. What I find really interesting is, and we're going to get Relic Delta, and it's going to be a massive change to the game. Okay, I agree with all of that. How massive is that change? What does it do for our farming? And for those of us who are very active in the game and looking to strategize and talk to each other about the game and watch YouTube content, and for those of us, if you're watching this channel and you're watching me play Grand Arena, we are always, as a community, punching up in Grand Arena. We're always fighting rosters that have higher galactic powers than us, more galactic legends than us, more capital ships, better mods, better datacrons. That is how we live life in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So, we strategize around that. We find the ways to get the best teams. We find the best mods to put on the best characters to make them work in the best way possible. This will be another layer of that. We don't know what it looks like yet. I'm a little frustrated with comments that say Relic Delta is destroying the game. No, it's not. It's not even in the game yet. We don't know. So give it a chance. Relax. Take it easy. You're going to be okay. I promise you're going to be okay. We're playing a game. Capital Games has to make business decisions, and the business decisions are nothing. Okay, this life lesson. Our politicians in all of our cultures, by the way, our politicians and our super wealthy people want us to make everything a binary issue. This is great. This is the best thing ever. This is the worst thing ever. And if you disagree with me, I hate you. And if they keep us busy doing stupid stuff like that, then we don't care about everything else that they're doing to ruin our lives, right? Negatively impact our lives. Whatever. Look, it's the same thing here. And I'm not saying CG has got us saying best, worst thing. I think, but we're buying into that right now. Wait and see, man. We'll wait and see. There are real concerns. And we'll have to see how those are addressed over time, and we'll see what goes on, and we'll see what happens. We'll find ways to strategize around it, and we will continue to play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Me, I make offhanded jokes all the time. I have a little fun. That's what I'm here for. If I'm not having fun, you guys aren't having fun, because that's part of my passion with doing anything I do. In fact, something I've had to learn, for me, that's been a struggle with my life over time, is I had to learn to not make a joke out of everything. I mean, I used to sit in like business meetings, and you guys have no idea when I'm listening to somebody else talk, like when I'm listening to anybody else talk, jokes come into my head the entire time. I have one-liners for almost everything at all times, and I bury 98% of it. Which may seem crazy. Some of you guys may think I'm really flippant about a lot of things. You have no idea the things that run through my head. So it's something I've had to train myself to do over time. When I say something like that, we're joking around, we're having fun, while also at the same time, it's true for anybody. If Vexatron wants to be a successful YouTuber, if I want to be a successful YouTuber, if anybody wants to be a successful YouTuber, part of that is finding where the content is going to best serve your channel and best serve your audience and provide the most entertainment for your audience. Because at the end of the day, we're here to teach, we're here to grow you guys in the game, we're here to show how the game works, but we're mostly here to have fun together and enjoy ourselves. So let's have some fun, chattiest. But yeah, I'm not, that was a totally separate comment, and just, yeah, that's fine. We'll move forward. Fresh Makusar jumps onto a Galaxy Heroes video, crazy value about a Lightspeed bundles, and says, show all the cards of light and dark in Lego Star Wars Battles. This is funny to me. Lego Star Wars Battles was the original game I started covering on this channel when I started, making content 5+ years ago now, and it just turned out, and I was covering it in beta, it never made it out to the regular Android app store, and then they killed it, then they brought it back in the Apple Play Store, which is just kind of a mess, and they stopped developing it. I stopped playing it years ago, but yet I will still get 1 or 2 comments a week that say, are you going to cover Lego Star Wars Battles? You know, do it, and it's really interesting to see that this, and I was even looking at the Discord today, there's still a few people in there talking about it. The game hasn't been touched development-wise in years, but there are still people out there that are playing now that were playing 4 years ago when I was playing it, and they play every day. I'm amazed at that. It was a fun game. It was just Star Wars minifigures playing Clash Royale, basically. Never took off, wasn't going to succeed. But I think it's interesting when people ask about old dead games, and I get a lot of, also, people just throw random comments into videos that have nothing to do with the video. I just find that stuff interesting, you know. Like I said, we're here having fun. This is a comment from Sandy Harem. I made a couple videos about the sound being broken on Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, a couple shorts, because I was doing the sound effects. Pew pew, right? I was doing the sound effects, and it was fun on stream, so we put a short out for it. It's not a bug. The sound wasn't actually broken in the game, but people were experiencing, myself included, that if the sound was on, we were getting crashes, right? And I was playing Grand Arena on stream. I didn't want it to crash while I was trying to climb up Kyber, so I turned the sound off, but I didn't want to put in the title of the video, I had to turn the sound off because the game might crash, pew pew. That's just not marketable, so there's no bug. The sound isn't broken except unless you have the Bad Batch and using them in the game. There's lots of sound issues with Bad Batch for whatever reason. But yeah, no, it's not a bug. It was easier to put that in the title. Garcia Ortiz, Miguel Angel. That's a name, my friend. 4 minutes ago. Look at that. Dad Nooch, I need advice. I'm only Shock T, Cody, Clone with Minigun Arc Trooper, and Bo-Katan to get Jedi Master Kenobi. Not Arc Trooper, that's Clone Sergeant. And Bo-Katan to get Jedi Master Kenobi. Well, that's 5 only characters, and Shock T is one of the highest Kyrotech character. I think she's 500 Kyrotechs, right? It's a lot of only. Already got Cat. Lol. Should I wait for Relic Delta or keep upgrading? That's a great question. That's a great question. My leaning on that would be to just wait. Again, I just think that I just will stand by. A month of waiting or hoarding never really hurt anybody in the game, and by all means of this, unless you're just gonna be buying all the stuff for these guys, you're more than a month away anyway. Like, there you go. Since you are like probably a couple months away from finishing these guys, if you're free to play, even if you're pay to play, unless you're whaling. If you're whaling, you're not gonna wait for anything anyway, right? If you're like a Kraken, but I mean, if you want to save yourself a little bit of money and you're not gonna have it finished, you're not gonna have Jedi Master Kenobi finished, you know, by early mid-November anyway, so I just wait. Just wait, man. It'll be here. Lol. Just wait for it, man. You'll be all right. All right, last one for our video here. Rattlehead? Yeah, Rattlehead. Is Rey worth it? She's not a character I would farm without Lightspeed bundles. I already have SLK. I'm currently working toward Executor, and 10 out of 16 requirements are done for Leia. Other comments, David Jelchik says, I do have Rey. I would say it's better to invest in anything else because those requirements doesn't help. You need Ben and Ezra to have some fun. invest in anything other than Rey is what they're saying. If you're into GAC, Rey's totally worth it. Rey has gotten, period, a beneficial data crown almost every season, period. Leia first, if you can get Jabba, get him too. They crush hard mode. Yeah, I agree with that comment. The thing is that before, this has always been really interesting. Before the Rey Lightspeed bundle came out 2 years ago, nobody farmed Rey. Nobody. And when I say nobody, I'm talking like 1 to 2% of people would go out there and farm Rey before the absolute end game. And zero free-to-play players are farming Rey. She's a completely isolated farm. Her farm overlaps with nothing else. Like you look at Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you got the Bounty Hunter ships in there and the TIE Advance that overlap with the Executor. When you look at Sith Eternal, he's got the TIE Bomber, he's got Piet, is Vader in there? I think Palpatine's in there. You know, there are a lot. Every other farm has characters that overlap somewhere else with something else, you know? Rey, I think, is really the most isolated. Yeah, even Hondo has gas in there. Rey is just absolutely an isolated galactic legend farm that doesn't overlap anywhere else. And so nobody was farming her free to play or until you're deep into the game. Pretty rare to get Rey on a roster, especially before you get Ben Solo, and now Ezra really makes her awesome. So in this case, I would say most people would not farm Rey without Lightspeed bundles. If you are 10 out of 60 requirements done for Leia, go finish Leia and then get Jabba. I think this last comment has got it nailed. Leia first, then get Jabba. They crush hard mode. Yeah, that's true. J-Master Luke, I think actually sucks in Conquest. I know he's there for cheesing stuff, but you guys know how I feel about cheese. Just really frustrating. I don't like going out there and putting out it's frustrating. Cheese frustrates me. I know. You guys think I'm crazy. That's fine. That's no problem. Anyway, yeah, most people are going to be buying Lightspeed bundles to get Rey, and most people are not going to be farming Rey any other way in the game. That's what I got to say there. Anyway, guys, there's your questions for the last, I don't know, it's been a little while. These are actually kind of recent questions and comments. I just hadn't addressed any here recently, so good to do this because it kind of gets into some issues that maybe I don't get to address normally or consistently, or a lot of stuff, you know, I mention here and there, but it's tough to find all that information because I talk a lot, you know, I talk a lot. Anyway, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Let me know down below what I'm missing in the game right now. Talk to you soon. Always remember, Nooch too good.